Hello everyone, welcome back to Horror Mystery Rewind. Today we will talk about the horror movie Freddy vs. Jason, which was released in 2003. Turn on closed captions for subtitles. Spoilers ahead, enjoy and take care of yourself. Freddy was shown in the beginning of the movie. He was letting people know how he used to beat the kids of his town. Seeing his nature, the crowd burnt him to death. However, his game did not end, and he came back stronger. Now he is killing the kids when they are asleep, and he kills them in their dreams. He scared the children and lived in fear of them. The more children became afraid of him, the more dangerous he became. Since fear was his real strength, his terror spread among the people and he killed as many people as possible. But in the end, the people of this town found a solution on how to extract Freddy from their life. They started believing that there is no Freddy, and we don't need to be afraid of him. They stopped being afraid of him and managed to ignore him completely. Now it was impossible for Freddy to come back because no one was afraid of him, and no one recalled him, so there was no way for him to come back. His strength to be alive again was the fear of the people. He found a man in hell for this job who could help him. It was a man named Jason, as he could remind people of him by killing them. Jason was sleeping in hell. Freddy goes to Jason in the form of his mother. He asks him to wake up, go to the town and start killing the kids. Freddy came in the form of his mother, so he couldn't refuse her. He wakes up and moves forward to his purpose. Then, we were shown Lori, who lived with her father. His father wasn't at home, so her friends were there with her. Since Lori was upset, her friends tried to entertain her. She says that she's missing her childhood friend Will. Will was one of those people who went missing from that town. No one knew where he was for so many years. One of Lori's friends goes to the kitchen and finds the back door open. Jason has entered through the back door. Given that her friends were on the top floor, Lori was concerned about them. Jason approaches and brutally murders one of those girls. While using the restroom, a friend notices a lot of blood. When she steps outside, she discovers her friend brutally murdered. They were unable to identify the murderer because Jason was not there. They became fearful and left the house. There was a deputy passing through, and soon there were police around the area. A cop informs the sheriff that he believes it should be Freddy after observing the deceased body state. Sheriff begs them to remain silent, but Lori hears them out. Here, Freddy achieves his goal. People started taking his name and remembering him because they were terrified of him, and the chance of Freddy to get alive increased. The police took them all and started investigating all of them. The sheriff seemed worried because of Freddy. Everyone knows Freddy's healing power is fear. But the deputy didn't know about him as he was a rookie. No one told him anything about Freddy. Lori was upset with the behavior of the police. She falls asleep and sees Freddy in her dream. He has returned now. Seeing Freddy in her dream, she wakes up scared. She becomes relaxed, thinking that this was just her nightmare. But she didn't realize that it was about to come true. Lori's friend falls asleep after getting drunk. Freddy appears in his dreams as well. He attacked him, but he was unable to harm him. This is because he came back, but he was not strong enough to harm anyone yet. He was waiting to become powerful again, and Jason was making it easier for him. Lori's friend wakes up from sleep. He finds his father sitting beside him. He wasn't speaking or moving. As he touches his father, his head removes from his body, and it falls down. Jason kills him without giving him a chance to analyze. Later, a hospital is shown where a boy named Will was watching news on the television where the story of murder in Lori's house is showing. The boy was Lori's childhood friend who went missing. When he saw this news, he seemed worried, thinking that Lori's father had killed Lori, as he witnessed earlier that Lori's father murdered his wife. He shares this with his friend who was in the hospital with him. Here, we get to know that they all were victims of Freddy, therefore they were kept here, at the hospital, far away from the town. The purpose behind it was not to tell or talk about Freddy for people to forget Freddy. Police succeeded in it as well also. Freddy is not able to kill these victims because they were given a drug which didn't allow them to dream. If they don't dream, Freddy would be unable to approach them. Will was worried about Laurie. Seeing his state, his friend strikes an idea. He steals the wallet of a worker which had keys to that place. Both of them escape from there. Laurie was trying not to fall asleep, because every time she slept, she saw Freddy in her dream. Therefore, she prefers going to school. She goes to school despite her father's prohibition. An officer tells Laurie's father that Will and his friend have escaped the hospital. He becomes angry when he hears it, because it was his plan to keep Laurie away from him for so long. As Laurie reaches the school, she gets to know her another friend died. Police said that he killed his father first. When he felt guilty of doing it, he attempted suicide. Police were spreading this fake news so that no one would discuss Freddy. However, Freddy became a topic of discussion now. Laurie shares her dreams with her other friends about seeing Freddy. Other students also hear what she says. In the meantime, Will's friend also reaches there. As he knew about Freddy, he started spreading his news everywhere. As everyone including Laurie was afraid and were very scared, Will comes and asks his friend to be silent. When Laurie sees Will, she gets really happy and faints. The principal of the school also comes there. Therefore, Will and his friend had to go. Everyone got to know about Freddy and people started to remember him. Due to this, people started seeing him in their dream. Freddy was not able to kill anyone in their dream yet as he hasn't become powerful yet. Will asks his friend if Freddy has really come, then why he didn't kill Laurie yet. His friend tells him that maybe he is still powerless. He says that people's fear is his strength, and he has spread it in school already. Will thinks that everyone knows about Freddy now. His friend has instilled his fear in everyone's heart. So, he will definitely try to kill Laurie now. Will goes to Laurie, who was at a party, to keep herself awake. He was about to tell Laurie everything, but her friends took her with them. Being drunk, one of Laurie's friends goes into the bushes. She sees her dead friend there. Chasing him, she reaches a factory. She doesn't find her friend there, however Freddy was there. She saw Freddy, which indicates that she's asleep because she is in the dream world of Freddy's. She tries hard to save herself from him. However, she could survive only if someone wakes her up in reality. While Freddy was about to kill her, someone else killed her before him. He was Jason. Jason has taken Freddy's victim from him. Freddy is left shocked because she died in reality. Her dream also ended, where Freddy was about to kill her. Freddy's plan seemed to be weakening as Jason was stealing his victims. He was unable to do anything to stop Jason, because he woke him up and brought him into this world. This weighed heavily on him. Jason was about to kill a boy. The boy tried to burn him, however, it didn't affect him. He moves forward and inserts his burning blade into the boy. Seeing him burning and coming out, people start panicking and run to save their lives. Laurie and her friend see their friend's dead body. Will takes them out from there. After dropping them, he goes to drop Laurie at her house. He asks Laurie not to go to her house and also explains he was kept at hospital away from you because I saw your father killing your mother. Disbelieving him, she says that my mother died in a car accident. Meanwhile, Laurie's father comes there and tries to take her inside. Will tries to stop him, but on the contrary, he blackmails Will that he'll kill him right away. Seeing this, Laurie gets inside the house and her father follows her. Laurie tells him that I want proof of my mother's death. But he had no answer to this. Laurie goes to her room and her father also chases her. To save her life, Laurie comes out through the window. Outside, Will was already waiting for her. They visit Will's friend. In Freddy's reality, Will's friend was attempting to awaken himself. The door is locked from the inside when Laurie and Will arrive there. They observe him sleeping while they look through the window. His back suddenly catches fire. He starts getting thrown around by Freddy. Eventually, Freddy uses his razor-sharp nails to kill him. On his back, Freddy left a message. They both read Freddy back, which appeared on it. Officer Sheriff, on the other hand, was angry about the killings at the party. He was actually concerned because of Freddy. They believed Freddy to be the murderer but were unaware that Jason was behind it. Deputy goes there as well. He tells the sheriff that I know who's the murderer. The sheriff thinks that how does he know about Freddy as the deputy is new here? However, he was shocked hearing what the deputy said. He claims that this murderer is similar to Jason. Their ideas disagree in this situation. Because only he was backing Jason while everyone else was considering Freddy. The deputy approaches Lori, who was with her friends, after having her address. Here, they acknowledge the entire premise. Jason was brought back by Freddy. Jason is responsible for all of these murders. People will assume Freddy is responsible for these. People will remember him and become terrified of him, which will increase his strength and lead him to return. Now that his strategy had been successful, Freddy was helpless to control Jason because he was still powerless to capture Jason. During the discussion, Lori falls asleep. She sees Freddy in her dream. He was going to kill her. Lori shouts and grabs his ear. At the same time, Will awakens Lori. She sees that Freddy's ear is in her hand as Lori brought him to the reality of dreams. Who was more skilled at eliminating dreams than Will? Considering that he spent many years using medications to stop having the dreams. To take that medication, they visit the hospital. One of Lori's friends gets away from the group and falls asleep. Then Freddy appears there as a hideous monster, enters the mouth of Lori's friend, and takes control of him. He exerted control over him to get him to dispose of all the anesthetic medications, and he soon followed. From outside, the deputy and his companion attempt to stop him. Jason appears out of nowhere. The deputy is killed, but Lori's companion is saved. From there, they start to escape. However, Lori's possessed friend was motionless. He had 2 anesthetic injections in his hand. As Jason comes close to him, he injects both of the injections in Jason. He did this because Freddy's soul made him do this. But before getting faint, Jason cuts him into 2 parts. Freddy and Jason were about to face each other as Jason was asleep. Now he has entered Freddy's world. Freddy's plan was to make Jason sleep forever. But he was unaware that it is very difficult to compete with Jason. Jason comes and breaks both of his arms, however, it doesn't affect Freddy. Later, Freddy hits Jason hard and breaks all of his bones. But still, it doesn't affect him. Jason throws him away. The pipes over there break and water starts coming out of them. Now Freddy finds out Jason's weakness, which was water. Jason was afraid of water. Freddy takes advantage of his fear. In reality, the friends were taking Jason to a place where her mother died. With it, he was being injected with anesthetic injections as well for him to come back only after killing Freddy. However, the probability of Jason winning was very less as was completely under control by Freddy. Also, they were running short of anesthesia. When they realize their plan is not working, they move on to another plan, which was to bring Freddy into the real world, and they wake him up. Their van gets out of control and crashes as he suddenly wakes up. Jason falls out of the van. When Freddy realizes that he is in the real world, he understands how much trouble he's gotten into as he has come to Jason's world now. Jason seems more powerful than Freddy this time. He takes Freddy away while dragging. An injured friend of Lori had also died. Lori and Will try to escape, but Freddy stops them. Lori's friend comes over and starts talking to him, thinking Freddy could do nothing if someone is not getting scared. She succeeded by doing this. However, to get to Freddy, Jason killed her out of his way and they started fighting again. Freddy uses his sharp claws on Jason and also inserts a lot of rods in him. But nothing happens to Jason, and he breaks all the rods. As they fight, they both reach the bridge. Here Jason was about to end this fight, but Freddy cuts his fingers and uses his machete to stab Jason. He knocks him down and stabs him in the eye, but Jason still does not give up. Laurie and will set the bridge on fire. Jason pulls out Freddy's one arm and Freddy stabs him with Jason's machete on his chest. Then the gas tank there explodes. Then both of them fell into the pool. To save their lives from the explosion, Laurie and Will also jump into the pool. When they came out of the pool, they thought that everything has come to its end now. Suddenly, Freddy comes to them with a machete in his hand. Freddy tries to kill them when Jason inserts his claw inside him and he falls into the pool. Freddy was still alive, and Laurie detaches his head by using the machete. Freddy's body and his head get drowned in the water. All their nightmares are finally over. They both get out of that place now. However, the next morning, Jason comes out of the water in a winning mood. As a reward, he was holding Freddy's head which was still alive. His head passes an evil smile which ends the movie. If you like the video, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and click on like to help the channel out. Thank you and take care.